Good morning, Coachella Valley, and thank you for joining us on this September 11th. I'm Joe Smith. I'm glad you're here.
And I'm Thalia Hayden. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. It is definitely a solemn day. So many feelings people are experiencing.
Absolutely. And people of a certain age, they can remember exactly where they were on that day. And I think a lot of people woke up and were waking up to the Today Show and seeing what had happened. And we will, of course, be remembering that day, not only across the nation, but here in Palm Springs as well. One of the nation's most solemn anniversaries is remembered today. It marks the 19th anniversary since the terror attacks on September 11th of 2001. And the three locations where thousands died on hallowed ground, New York City, Washington, D.C., and Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Yes, the ceremonies in New York began at 8:46 their time with that moment of silence. The time Flight 11 hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center. And then here in Palm Springs Fire Department held their moment of silence as well at 5:46, as they do every year. A little different this year because of COVID. President Trump was at the Flight 93 Remembrance in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Ceremonies are slightly different, as we mentioned.
And this is a live picture in Palm Springs right now. At the memorial in New York City on this day, 2,977 people died. And the death toll from the attacks continues to rise today as those who worked at Ground Zero during the aftermath are suffering from related illnesses.
And right now what's happening is that the names are being called in remembrance. All 2,974 names being read, getting their moment. And again, this happens every year. Earlier this morning around 3:47 our time, the Pentagon unfurled the flag. 19 years ago, American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon, which led to the partial collapse of the building's west side. 125 military personnel and civilians were killed there, along with all 64 people aboard the flight. And later this morning, Defense Secretary Mark Esper and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, will conduct their ceremony at the National 9/11 Pentagon Memorial.
And as we mentioned earlier, most of the ceremonies today will be closed to the public because of the pandemic.